something's working for lots of other content creators, you should be probably doing that as well. A lot of people seem to steer clear. They're like, oh, I need to be really unique, because if I'm not unique, then it's like, yeah, but if 10 other people are doing something and it's working really quite well, try it and then see if you can put your own little spin on it. So maybe there's something little you do. You added like a sound or something in your style of how you do it, or the transitions like a little bit different. But yeah, don't try and remake the wheel on things that are working already in content.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Behind the Stream podcast, episode number 17. Today, I am joined by Warzone streamer, and I'm going to call you a settings guru if you don't mind.
I'm happy with that.
FourEyes.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. I'm actually really, really excited to jump into this and have hopefully a good conversation just about content and stuff I do, stuff I want to do, recommendations, things I've sort of picked up on over my time of doing what I'm doing. And yeah, it's going to be fun.
Nice. So let's just go straight into it. So then if you could just introduce, like, what is it that, like, where are you at currently, and where I've got, I just want to say something before I go in. I rate your YouTube channel. Why? Because I scrolled all the way to the bottom, and you've got like your like vlog videos. Oh, yeah. Like this has been your YouTube channel for a long time, hasn't it? This is your only YouTube channel.
It isn't it? Actually.
Oh, it isn't.
I think I covered that a little bit in terms of
go into it.
Yeah, so I mean, because if I was going to go through real quick. Let's start off with where I am right now, because that probably makes more sense. I can cover a little bit of where I was. But sure. So my channel right now, YouTube being my focus, long form YouTube content, is mainly focused around educational Warzone content. That's the main kind of game. Modern Warfare 2 as well, but then also trying to branch out bits into other games as well. Breaking out of a niche can be difficult, but it's trying to work my way into other areas. But it's always about education and providing value. That's the main thing I'm always trying to do, is that people come along, they watch an 8 to 10 minute video, and they come out either knowing something which they've now searched, they may have searched for it, and then now they've got the answer to it in as broad a way as possible, or maybe it wasn't even something they realized they wanted to know about, and they've scrolled past, they've seen it on YouTube, they've seen it kind of packaged with the right thumbnail, right title, and they've seen it and gone, oh, that intrigues me. I want to know about how I can improve in some way that, or, you know, how you set up these kind of settings and stuff in game to be able to push your computer as good as possible to get the game running as good as possible. So that's my main goal with my channel. I've been predominantly just a long form content creator, YouTube content creator. I never jumped on short form content as much as I kind of look back on it and wish I'd jumped on it a bit more than I have, and I'm still trying to work my way into figuring out how I can do my short form content. I've never been that great with it, and streaming's now something which this year I've given much more of a focus. I've tried it here and there, bits and pieces on all the different platforms. Back in the day, I tried out doing Mixer streaming for about a week and then gave up. And so I'm just trying to diversify at the moment. Nice. But my roots really in terms of content creation is all about kind of as production value, because I actually way back in the day began on an old channel as a Call of Duty montage editor.
Okay, nice. Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, like Modern Warfare, like the OG Modern Warfare 2. I was in a clan. I had like a clan. I can't remember what they were called, and they brought me in as an editor, and I edited these montages. And I've also always been into film and cinematography and post-production. Did a bit of that back in the day as well with groups of friends and stuff. So I've always had that at the core of what I do, is good production value. And then now what I'm trying to provide is like a good flow to how you sort of make videos. And that's sort of a big spiel on everything about me at the moment.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, like interesting. You said you just been a long form, because I noticed that you don't really do short form. And wondering. I was going to ask later, but wondering like, what are you going to go into short form? Because do you know what you could honestly translate your long form settings videos into short form. They'll bang. I know,
and not to kind of toot my own horn much, but I've dabbled in short form kind of over time, like when TikTok was sort of blowing up over lockdown. I remember TikTok was like the amount of the wave of like gaming on TikTok, and then how people were transitioning TikTok viewership into stream viewership was the big thing at the time. Just the amount of people who were getting their Twitch streams absolutely bang. And there's a guy who I came across, and he literally went from like 5 viewers to 150 in like a couple of months just from providing good TikTok content. And then there was so many people coming along and being like, oh, I've been doing all the streaming thing, and then I need to actually make content and put it on other platforms because that's what's actually going to drive stuff. And in my head, that wasn't new ideas. I just thought, that's, of course you need to do that. No one's going to come along to a film. I think it might have actually been, I don't know if it was a video of yours I actually watched, or it might have been someone else who said about if a film gets released and there's no advertising for it, why would you go? You wouldn't ever go and watch it. So I never really got on that bandwagon at the time. I started doing bits and pieces, but anything I was doing was always performing decently. Actually, like nothing going crazy, like viral or anything like that. But everything was catching a bit of fire. Nothing was absolutely dead in the dust. So, in terms of the reason why I haven't really jumped onto it, I guess it's just maybe it's just time and priorities. I'm a part-time content creator at the moment, so
fair.
I've got my long form content comes first because that's like my roots. That's what I really enjoy doing. And now I've started getting into the stream side of things and doing that 2 or 3 times a week. And outside of that, I've got my job, I've got my partner, I've got my house, which I moved into 2 years ago. I've got friends, I've got family. So it's just that time management thing. I think.
Time management.
It's because I would love to just smash out 5 to 6 short videos a week, but it's just organizing it and getting that time to do it, which is difficult.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, people. I mean, I can tell by the way that you say it, but like, people underestimate how long a short video can take. It can easily take 3 hours.
Yeah, literally.
Quite easily, and with like, I'm sure with your level of like video editing, I know that you put that effort into the short form, and it probably would take you 2 or 3 hours as well. Yeah. So times that by 5 or 6, that's like 18 hours that you can't just like pull out your ass. Like, it's just where are you gonna find that time? But I agree with your prioritization of your long form, because like if I look at, I've just got it on my left screen at the moment, like if I look at some of your like videos, like, which is like, admittedly when you messaged me, I'd never seen your channel before, but there's nothing more than I love to see than someone doing long form well in Warzone, because it's fucking hard.
Yeah, it really is. It's difficult.
It is now. If you're established doing the high kill games, loadout metas, etc., it's all right. But if you're new, people don't touch long form Warzone or long form FPS because they know that it's hard. And I love to see someone, because your videos, doing like really good numbers. Like I see that one 10 days ago, 165k.
Yeah, that one that went out of nowhere.
What are you finding in your long form? Let's go down like more specifics then. In your long form, like Warzone stuff, what does well, like what doesn't do well, like what are your just talk me through like everything that you're thinking when you're like putting together a video or looking back at old videos. Like, what's your content like strategy plan going forward?
So a big base of my channel, and I mean, you mentioned at the start about settings guru. I'll try and run with that. Interestingly, recently I've been trying to make more of a space of myself on Twitter as well, and actually I've had a bunch of mentions from bigger creators who have actually said like, oh, like I used his video, and like here's the video I would always go to for stuff, and I'm like, that's cool. That's what you want, getting that validation for it. But that kind of optimization and settings kind of stuff is something I will always be doing, because it's quite funny because a game releases and it's like not very well optimized, and most people that means that it's going to make their content harder to do. That makes my job 10 times easier. The worse a game releases, the better I can do, because the more people who are going to be searching how the hell do I get this thing running at a certain FPS in game.
Like the Harry Potter one, sorry, but you didn't offer Harry Potter.
I decided I was like, this is a big game. It's those are, in terms of my content strategy, those are like they're like the must dos. They're like the free wins, because if a new popular game is going to release and it's on PC, and in this day and age, it seems like every game that releases on PC is slightly unoptimized. I can try and provide something where people are going to find it and watch it. And I feel like the YouTube algorithm has sort of picked up that that's the niche where people are watching my content, and it knows that people are going to come and they're going to get the value that they want, and they're going to watch for longer, and they're going to watch more ads, and therefore YouTube's going to push it out. And so YouTube just seems to always push that content. So it's that stuff I always have to do. But then I'm steadily branching out more towards just the other side of more of the educational side of things. Like if I'm talking about loadouts and stuff like that, I'm not going to be that kind of guy. Like with Warzone, one of the big trends is, here's a loadout. I'm not really going to describe it very much. Just here it is. And then here's me killing 40 people with it. And it's like,
I know.
It's not the kind of content I consume, but it's really, really popular for the people that do well with it. But also that I'm never going to be able to make that because I'm not good enough to do it. Like I'm decent, but that's not my kind of content. What I would rather do is go down the route of, here's what you should use, but here's literally every single reason and backing why what I'm saying is true. And people tend to respect that. There is obviously this movement where potentially attention spans seem to be dropping a little bit more. So you've got to keep up the pace in those kind of videos. You can't just sit and talk. So it's all about, that's where the editing side of things and the post-production comes in. Turning something which is useful information into something which is still kind of enjoyable to watch, and the little subliminal bits in your brain get little spikes every time a camera angle changes or something pops up on the screen or something like that. So it's always about trying to make sure I'm constantly improving that editing side of things whilst I'm moving into areas where I haven't done much content on before. But it's always educational is what I really like to cover.
Yeah, nice. How do you? I've got a few questions actually, both very different. I just want to from an editing. One's about where you get your information from, and one's about editing. So I don't want to lose them. So first we'll go into editing because you just mentioned it there. Like over time, how have you, I say, developed your editing? Like, because people always ask me, like, how do you get better at editing, or like, what do I do? Like, I'm just wondering, like, I know it's like a time game, but like, just wondering, like, how do you try to get better at editing?
I think one of the biggest things is something which sort of applies not just to editing, but applies to literally just content creation, is just consume lots of content. That's the first thing. Because quite honestly, if you're making content in a sort of a niche or a style, and you don't find yourself naturally in your day-to-day going and watching that kind of content, then maybe it's not actually the right content for you. Maybe you're trying to chase down a path because you think it's the right thing, whereas it doesn't actually align with what you do. So the kind of stuff I make is the kind of content I like to consume. There's other guys who are playing Warzone, games like Apex, a lot of FPS content. League of Legends is another game which I play a lot of, and I'm always trying to consume that educational content and trying to learn to improve and stuff. And so I look at things that they do, and it's like, oh, how can I emulate that or something? And then maybe I have to do a quick YouTube video search or a Reddit search. But nothing that I do with my editing, I think, is that crazy. Is that crazy? It's just a lot of like editing fundamentals I find. And in terms of how you improve at that, I'd love to give a better answer than you've just got to keep doing it. You've just got to keep doing it, and you just got to keep consuming more content. And I'm lucky that for whatever reason, when I was a lot younger, I got into the idea of post-production of actual film, not YouTube content, actual film, like student film it was at the time, and then going down the path of like crazy levels of editing and stuff from Call of Duty montages, because the amount of layers and stuff you chuck into those things back in the day was nuts. So I feel like the editing I'm doing now, like I take a lot of time and care on it, but I don't feel like anything I'm doing is rocket science. It's just doing it for a long time, and every video you're putting out, maybe just trying out something new. Like one of the things I've done recently, actually, I watched your video about the captions and how you get the captions in and working. So now I start all of my videos off with the first kind of segment of the video, which is that first 10 to 15 seconds, with captions popping up of what I'm saying, colors popping up, just something that sort of gets the pace of the video up with a lot of B-roll and stuff in there, just something that hooks. And that's not going to guarantee a good hook every time. Sometimes you might look at the retention, it might suck, but it's something I'm trialing out. And so just try stuff out and see if it works. Start to learn how you can interpret analytics of videos and see where you can go from it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I completely agree about the fundamentals there. I think just get the fundamentals right, because I think it's fairly easy by, like you said, consuming lots of content that is the content that you want to create and identifying the fundamentals that are in that content and then just implementing those fundamentals into your own content.
It's rinse and repeat, and
it's not rocket science. Yeah,
and
it's
I don't know what the quote is. Not copying, but it's like copying is the best form of flattery or something like that. It's like there's nothing wrong with it. You if something's working for lots of other content creators, you should be probably doing that as well. A lot of people seem to steer clear. They're like, oh, I need to be really unique, because if I'm not unique, and then it's like, but if 10 other people are doing something and it's working really quite well, try it and then see if you can put your own little spin on it. So maybe there's something little you do. You added like a sound or something in your style of how you do it, or the transition's like a little bit different. But yeah, don't try and remake the wheel on things that are working already in content.
I'm actually at a phase where I'm just preaching that at the moment to everybody, like just copy, but just take the fundamentals, like you said, and take the things that are actually not the unique things, but they are the fundamentals that make that video good. And that is contributing a large portion to that success of that video. And then just take that 70% that actually is not unique at all, and then give the extra 30% is your uniqueness. Because then no one can go, well, you copied that video from over there. No, not at all. Like, this is not unique knowledge. No. Like, this is not like, and it worked. Honestly, I've been doing it for started it 30 videos ago. I just taken concepts, ideas, and for editing fundamentals that I've seen other people do, and just start doing it myself.
Literally,
just sort of like
copy.
You've got to overcome a little bit of laziness as well, like starting, like just adding more cuts and adding more B-roll is more time consuming, but I've felt like once you just get into the habit of it, you have better ideas. The ideas come to you more easy about how to edit stuff, and then actually it ends up not being as kind of daunting and as long as it was when you first started.
That's also doing it. And that's also just a general thing with life beyond content creation. A lot of the time, doing can be that catalyst to spark ideas and stuff. Like you can sit around and say, "Oh, I don't know if I could be bothered to do that extra bit of editing or something." It's like just do it. Just do it. And you know what? It might come out looking bad, but you'll probably learn something from it. You'll learn little things as you go along. It's just that
literally. Yeah.
It's putting in the effort in those areas, and then you'll make your life easier down the line for sure.
Yeah, well, I've spent so long knowing how to edit, but not actually
doing
the edit. And I started was like, Ben, just stop fucking doing it, right? And I've started doing it, and like some things come out good, some things come out bad. But like I said, I'm learning, and it's actually like I'm actually enjoying it now, because I'm actually like got all these new ideas to like bring to the table that I didn't have before, like rather than just sat in the front of the camera just talking.
And also, once you learn sort of how to do it, then you learn how to do it quickly and how you make it efficient.
Exactly.
Little presets and stuff, and you just suddenly realize, oh my god, like I'm literally making the video quicker than I did before with all this stuff in. And I go back and look at literally videos of mine from Warzone 1, I go back and look at some of my videos, and I can just see the differences. So, especially my like the hooks in the first 15 seconds. I just literally I sit and watch it, and I try and really disassociate from my content, not be attached to it. And it's good because you can't really be attached to a bit of content really that you made a year and a half ago. And I look at it and I go like, I'm just like, this is crap. Like the initial bit of it, and it's not. I'm not looking at did the video perform well or not. I'm just watching it as a viewer, and I'm sitting there. I'm just like, that could have been better. That could have been better. That took too long. Even just things as simple as just how I'm talking and like the tone of my voice. Like the tone of my voice now in my videos, completely different to a year ago.
Yeah.
Previous videos I was starting off and I was very, very, it's like monotone and very focused. And then I'm just like, God, like did people watch this? I'm very self-critical, but hopefully I think in a good way.
Do you think you'll think the same in a year's time?
I hope so, because that means that I've got better. I never want to get to a point where I sort of do want to get to a point where it's that thing of I always want to try and improve, and sometimes you can't really tell how much you've improved just on the day-to-day. Look back at something you did a while back, and then go, God, I've definitely been doing some good stuff.
Yeah, I think that's so true. If you look back at your old content and you don't think it's bad, then have you actually? That much.
This is perfect. My stuff's worse now. What have I done?
Yeah. So coming back to the info, then, when a new game comes out, or you've got a new settings video, like how are you gathering info? Is it through research and testing? I guess, like, where do you find? Who do you use if you want to share that, or where do you go to? Like, how do you do your planning for a setting video?
So, admittedly, a lot of it is actually just the basis of kind of settings in games. There's a lot of there's a PC games settings menu. A lot of the stuff you see on there will be very much common across every PC game, and it's almost like cheating in a little way, because something comes out and there's 50 to 60% of the stuff there, which is pretty much going to be the same advice on every single game that comes out. Unless there's something which is obviously just not working, which does happen sometimes, where you start turning something up and it doesn't seem to make any change. But so I kind of have that head start. I don't need to go in and test everything. But other stuff, it's benchmarking. It's just general playing with stuff of looking at visuals and stuff. And I am always very much on the boat of trying to get the content out as quick as possible. In general, as long as when I release that kind of content, because optimizations is a bit of a muddy area to be in, because you do get some weird comments on videos from optimization. You get people who come in and say, like, I've copied your settings and now my game doesn't open. You're like, I don't really understand how that could be the case. But that's one comment out of 1,000 or something. So it's a bit like, apologies if it somehow was, but it probably wasn't. But as long as the response I'm getting back is, this helped me in some way, then I don't see the need from kind of the way I'm presenting my content to go to some of the levels that I've seen some of the other people who do optimization. There's some people who do optimization stuff and they present benchmarks of everything, like really, really in detail. They go like FPS average, 0.1%, 1% lows, everything like that. And some people might want to go and consume that content, but I think that I've sort of built up a base where I know what my viewers who are coming to watch that kind of stuff expect, and it actually helps me out because I don't need to go to that level in the content. And I think that's a big bit of advice to sort of put out there, is obviously you want to be trying to, we've been talking about trying to constantly improve and push your content in different ways, but don't waste, it's hard to know when you are, but try not to waste too much effort in areas where the viewership you're bringing in, they don't really care about it. At the end of the day, if someone comes and watches my video, and at the beginning of watching the video, they didn't really know anything about how to set up their game, they watch it all the way through, they copy all the stuff down, I try and give some information on what is happening when you're changing certain things, and based on your build, maybe you could actually, there's certain settings where there's actually 2 different ones which could be better depending on what you've got. So just giving that level of detail, as long as they get to the end of it and then their game's running better, and then they go, oh, this is really awesome, now I can go and play the game with my friends. That's the level I'm trying to reach. I'm not, there's no point me putting in double the amount of time to potentially appease another 5% on top, because that time that I spend doing that, I could now pop up my stream and I could stream for 2 hours to my community and stuff. It's just time management. I have to be as clever as possible with time management, because if I don't, I'm going to spend ages and ages for diminishing returns.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. It's like diminishing returns on the actual settings and diminishing returns for the audience, because the audience are not getting a huge amount of value for those settings, because they are actually diminishing return settings anyway. Like, people don't care. It's like me, I'm probably perfect. Like, I don't care about those. I just want my game to be 80-90% optimized, running as good as it probably could be. I don't want to do any the fine tuning, overclocking, any of that shit. No, just give me the settings. It's going to run my game pretty good. Like,
that's exactly what I'm aiming for. It's knowing your viewer base, knowing who are the people you're actually, what are your audience? Are your audience? I watched a good video actually. It's from a guy. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a guy on YouTube called Film Booth.
Yeah.
I watch all his stuff. Really, big fan of his content because he covers a lot of just general YouTube stuff, and I've picked up a lot of kind of advice from the stuff that he talks about. And one of the things he talks about is avatars, and it's basically having this understanding of what is the person who is watching your video. How old are they? What do they do during their day? When do they, with gaming, like when do they jump on with their gaming? What are they expecting from your videos? Once you start to understand and and start tuning into that, and it's difficult to do, but I feel like I've been really more focusing on it. You start to realize what bits of your content creation you should be focusing on, and what bits, if you focus on them, no one's actually really going to care, and they're not going to pick up on it and appreciate it that much because that wasn't what they came there for in the first place. And that helps you start to understand, what should you focus on? What should you not really focus on as much?
How long did it take you to get to that point where you really felt like you had a good understanding of what your audience likes and doesn't like?
I would say it's since probably I started focusing on it more probably about a year ago. So let's say a year. Okay. So it's not an overnight thing, and it's not even just about going into YouTube analytics and looking at what's doing well and stuff. It's just a feel thing. I'd recommend anyone to go and watch his channel and look. If you search in Film Booth avatars, I think that might come up with the videos that he's talked about this kind of stuff. It's just a little bit of extra thought. It's like a thought exercise just on top of what you're doing. Just take take 5-10 minutes and actually just sit and try and think of that process of actually thinking, who are the people who are watching my content and what is the value they're there to get? Because if you just keep providing that in your content whilst trying to improve little bits and pieces as you're going, then you're golden. You're going to be slowly growing, I would hope.
That's I think I've seen that video. I'm not sure whether I have, but I watch most of his stuff because I like the way he edits.
Yeah, his editing style is also very, very good.
It's progressed. I've liked watching his editing and storytelling. He's practicing what
it's very wacky. The stuff he does keeps you watching.
What I love to see. I love the one that he did with Finzar, where they did that the 3-hour
editing
battle edit, and I was like, how the fuck have they done this in 3 hours? Even now I was impressed by what they came out with in 3 hours.
I love that video.
On a laptop where they were just sat in the forest. I don't actually know whether they
I'm not sure if they actually did it in the forest.
I don't think they did that in the laptop in the forest, because I'm like, how have you done this in 3 hours on one screen like that? Like on a trackpad?
No, it definitely did.
I'm not sure whether they could have done it that quick.
I can't imagine so.
Still impressed with that. So with your content at the moment, do you have plans to just throw in different stuff? Like I saw that you did the Harry Potter one. I know that's still settings, but it's still a completely different game. Like, do you have ideas going forward that you said at the moment you're doing really settings and gun optimization kind of videos? Like, are you always going to do that, or do you have ideas where you just throw in a little nugget of just you testing something?
I definitely want to chuck in bits and pieces. I think I have sort of I have a list. I try and keep like a board of stuff, like ideas, because the amount of ideas that fly in and out of my head, I realized that I had to start noting these things down, otherwise it's going to be gone within 5 minutes. So as soon as something comes in, whether you think it's good or bad, just chuck it on, put it on the board, and then you can get rid of it later. But at least you've captured it.
Do you get bored? Are you getting bored of this? Are you? Because I want to say, are you? Are you ever concerned that you'll get create burnout with this sort of?
Oh, content? Completely, and that has to be the forefront of everyone's mind. If anyone, go find any creator who's been at it for a long time who hasn't experienced burnout. I challenge everyone to do it. If there's people out there who haven't had that burnout, or at least the rumblings of burnout, then congratulations, you've opened Pandora's box, and you've got the world at your fingertips. But no, I know that what I'm doing now it's about building up in a niche, and this is what people talk about niching. People do try to recommend niching down, especially when you're growing, because niching down enables you to build the audience. Because
I completely
agree. You have to provide it's providing that value to the right people, and then just continue. Once you've got it, just hammer away, and you put in that content out, and the people are enjoying what you're doing and they always come back to watch a video. They don't even really look at that much at what the video is about. They just start to auto click your videos. Like there's a couple of content creators for Warzone. One of the big guys on Warzone for me is Iceman Isaac. Yeah. I mean, like, he's become a content creator for me as a viewer, where I just auto click his videos now. I don't even know. Like, I just sort of see a thumbnail. I know it's his thumbnail because it's got that style to it, and then I just click on it and I watch it. Yeah. And so I'm trying to have that with my audience, and then I think the sprinkling on top, and I think the most important thing about once you've got your niche and you've got it, how you start branching out is, and it's not the easiest thing depending on who you are, but it's the personality side of things. It's the who you are as a person behind the information, which is difficult as an educational or an information based channel, or even if you're, I mean, I guess if you're someone who's purely just gameplay focused, where it's like how good you are at the game, then I guess you could sort of transfer that over to another game, but it's still difficult. You've got to have that bit of personality in there. That's like that 15 to 20% where when you go and try something else out, there will be people who follow you because they've surpassed watching your content purely for the value and the information, but they also now watch it because they like watching videos that you make. And that's like the dream scenario, because all of the big content creators, especially with streamers, like big streamers, like the biggest of the big, the Tim the Tapmans, the ninjas back in the day, and those kind of guys. People watch whatever it doesn't matter what they make. It doesn't matter what they stream. Like well, maybe the viewership ebbs and flows. That's natural, but people just watch them because it's them. And that's really, I think, the goal. But you've got to start with a niche because otherwise no one's finding. Just the nature of algorithms and how things work. People are not finding your content, and you probably haven't put in the amount of work in the first place to build the content up to have the value that people are going to come and stick with. If that makes sense. Yeah, no, makes sense. That's the progression.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Like you're completely right, and I have these same thoughts as well about the It's difficult for educators to build their personal brand because their content isn't based off of their personal brand. It's based off the information they're providing. Whereas an entertainer is their personality is their value, really, which can be seen across streamers and across YouTube entertainment content. Whereas if you're a YouTube educator, like, as harsh as it is, people sometimes they don't give a fuck about you. They just come there for the piece of information. So how do you make them give a fuck about you? So
that's what.
How are you finding that? I guess we could move on to streaming. Because I'm guessing that is one piece of the puzzle of trying to like solve that problem for yourself.
I can definitely answer the question on like in terms of stuff that I like. I mean, I still get comments. I get less of them now, actually, which is a good thing. Which means I think I've improved sort of how I talk, but how I cut out things. You know, this is a big thing about, especially for any content creators, is trying to disassociate from your content. Don't become emotionally attached to it. You know, cut. If you speak for 30 seconds, there's no value in it. Just cut it. It's going to feel crap. You're going to be like, oh, but in my head that sounded really good. It's like, no, get rid of it, because the person who's watching, it's not adding anything to your personal brand. It's not adding anything really to the end value of what the video is meant to be providing. So cut it. But I'm definitely getting a lot less comments from people who are just like, they come in, they leave a comment just saying, you talk way too much, I don't care, kind of thing. And it's just like, oh, I thought I was providing. I thought I was doing something. I thought what I was talking about was good. So I'll just get on with it. Like, I want the kind of people who would just come to an education or a piece of content like that and watch it at double speed, or just click through. Where's the bit I want to look at? So it's just about. It's difficult because you just need to keep making content. You just need to keep making content and just trying little things out and seeing what sticks, and being okay with things not exactly going your way, and building up your general personality. Some people have more of that on-screen persona than others do naturally.
Yeah.
in terms of how you build that up and how you improve how you speak and how you get people to listen to you and care about what you're saying. The genuine way I'd actually recommend, but a lot of people won't do it, is to seek out opportunities to public speak in real life, which is, I don't know, okay. But that's something I've always seeked out from a young age, is to improve at public speaking, improve at articulating, improve at, being able to tell a story, being able to give a good explanation on something, to teach something. But it's not an easy thing to build up on. So it's once again, it comes back to just the idea of time and keep trying.
Yeah, that's such a good way of looking at it. Yeah, I think I look at it like both help each other. Like, so, like from a content creation perspective, if you just sit in the room and make videos, you're learning how to be a better storyteller and articulate yourself, which then could translate into you being able to do that better in real life as well, and vice versa. If you're someone that, and then you're more confident maybe in speaking in public, which develops a different set of skills, because you're actually like, you in front of a camera is very different than you in front of people, right?
Yes.
You need to some people can do one but can't do the other, usually the latter. But actually there are some people that can public speak but then hate actually watching themselves on camera. So actually that's not, I think it works both ways. But
they both help each other. And public speaking was something I sort of ended up doing a lot of when I was younger. So, and in my job, I try and seek opportunities to do that in terms of presenting and
one of the best skills to have.
Yeah, it's an incredible skill to have, and I feel like it helps me out a lot in terms of providing my value and my content in a good way, where people aren't going to get bored if I start going into the detail that I want to be providing.
I think public speaking and being able to articulate yourself is what I think one of the best skills that you can have in life, because it comes in use in so many different scenarios, like, and opportunities, like, but again, something that takes, I think, like you said, practice and time to get good at and to be confident at, and not to believe, to have that self-belief. I think a lot of it comes down to is that, like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to deliver it in a way that's good, and people are going to fucking listen to me and believe
it. That's the way to do it. And not everyone will, but knowing not everyone will.
Yeah.
But knowing that you're hitting the mark on the people that you want to listen to you.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I wanted to move on to live. Let's move on to one more question on your YouTube channel, and then we'll move over to live streaming, and they will probably interlink. Like, you said you got a job, and where are you taking your YouTube channel? Like, what is your, like? I know I kind of want to ask goals at the end, but not really, because, like, I'm just wondering, like, what do you want from this channel? Like why? Like, let's go deep, and like, why are you actually doing it? Like, what's, like? I watched this story guy on YouTube, and he was just about, it's like, I think it was Seth Godin that came up. It's like the thing behind the thing behind the thing behind the thing. Like, what is the thing behind the thing behind the thing for you in terms of, like, what's, like, actually driving you to do this? Like, what's the desire here to carry on, to spend the hours doing?
I think one of the biggest things is, in a single word, I think freedom is that sounds like freedom. It's like, but I think it's something which comes from any self-employed job any self-employed job is that self-employment is freedom to a level, because there's so many pressures that come with it as well, because suddenly you're accountable for everything pretty much. But I think that level of freedom is something which I'm really, really seeking, something which allows me to have the lifestyle that I want. And for me, what started as a hobby and something which I'm passionate about doing, and I like to put the hours into, number one, I'm going to be able to hopefully work towards that point where I have the freedom. But then also now, I think this is actually one of the things which is really helpful, is that now it's very different to when I first started it. I'm making it sound like, I mean, yes, I've had my channel for a long time, but a lot of this stuff has been around, but now it's so prevalent. Is you've got long form, you've got short form, you've got streaming, and you've got streaming. There's multiple platforms for streaming. There's presence on Twitter. There's presence in potentially if you decide to set up some sort of a like an extra sort of service you provide. Like I know there's a lot of people in terms, and it's not something I don't think I'd want to get into it, but some people who do like the optimization kind of stuff, they have a service where they optimize stuff. And so there's I look at it now and there's so many avenues which I could push into, and it's like I want to be able to attack it from every single angle, ideally. Yeah. And right now, because of how I have a full-time job, and in the UK, cost of living is ridiculous now as well. So it's that monetary and that financial side of things has to be secure before I can even consider the idea of putting my job kind of to the side and going full time with this. It has to. I have to be responsible about that, and I'm someone who is probably a little bit overly cautious when it comes to money. So I would be lying if I was saying that a lot of the decisions I make with content creation, I know a lot of people try and sugarcoat it, but everyone who's getting into full-time content creation wants to figure out a way that they can make it financially viable. And you should be, because if it's not financially viable, it's not sustainable. You're not going to be as happy with your general lifestyle. So I have to be financially stable before I can consider putting aside what is currently a stable job with good benefits and everything like that. Mm. So it's those two things. It's that freedom of lifestyle and choice and how I want to sort of like live my day to day, but also a financial level consistency and having that security where month to month, even though there will be an ebb and flow that comes with content creation, there are those sort of things you can always rely on.
Nice. Yeah, that's very. I like listen to that answer because it's literally exactly how I think. You seem patient, which is the kind of how I am as well. Like it's like I have a full-time job as well. I create content, living. I'm trying to support myself financially. I have a good job, but I don't have a good enough job to save me enough money in a year's time to then just go full-time content creator. I need my content to actually be funneling me quite a bit of money. And that takes time. But I'm in no rush as long as and I feel like you're probably the same, is that as long as I'm happy creating the stuff that I'm creating and it's going in the direction that I want it to go in. I say fortunate that I'm not a young 18, 19-year-old kid. I'm if it takes me a year, it's great. If it takes me 5 years, so fucking what? At the end of the day, I've got a whole lifetime to live. So long as I'm working towards, like you said, freedom, that was also resonated with me because mine is financial freedom. Yeah. Financial freedom in a way that, not that I'm rich, just living just a lavish lifestyle, more time. I just want my time to do what I want to do with my time. Yes. Rather than me have to spend 40 hours a week doing something that is okay, but if I had a choice, it would be a no, thank you.
And that's for 90% of people. When it comes to full-time work, normal work. Most of the time, the ideal situation you're going to be in is it's something that you're happy to do, probably because of the amount you're making from it and the amount it supports your lifestyle completely away from that. It's sort of it's worth it. The balance is there. There's very few people out there, and there is volunteering and stuff which people do, which is I know very different. But for most standard jobs, office jobs and stuff, if you had the option, you can either come here and do this stuff and I guess not get paid, or you could just not do it and not get paid. We'd go, well, I'm not going to do it. Or I guess the other way around is you can come here and we'll pay you this amount, or you can just not do it and we'll still pay you that amount. It's well, of course I wouldn't do it. I'd tackle everything in the day with that freedom of utilizing my time, because time is the most important resource that we have. It's like you can't, the amount of time that you just is wasted is just annoying to me, just so annoying. And that sort of links back into the whole thing I was talking about when it comes to just even making my content. Time is valuable. If I can make something in 2 hours or 3 hours that is going to probably provide the same amount of, impact and growth and everything like that as something which I put in double the amount of time, then I don't need to put in double the amount of time. A lot of people have this grind mindset of just do more. It's like, yes, do more, but do things smart. Take a bit of time to figure out how you can do things a bit smarter than just, I'm going to grind out and stream 8 hours a day. Okay. That's it. I hate to break it to you, but that's probably not actually going to help you in that much.
I fucking hate seeing me.
I'm probably triggering you. I can tell.
I see it on the day
with that kind of stuff.
It's really annoying. I'm trying to convince people not to do that, but people don't listen. Like, leading on from that, then. So, if the goal is freedom, I get the impression that you're very strategic thinker like me, and okay, well, how do you get there the quickest, right? That's kind of, how do you optimize your time and what you're doing to get there the quickest? And like, I think streaming 8 hours a day we both know that probably isn't going to get you to go the quickest. Like, you probably have got your YouTube, and that is going to give you some monetary value in terms of, I don't know, brand deals, ad revenue, etc. So then, like, how do you think about that? And then, like, leading on, then, like, why are you streaming? What's the value that you're getting from streaming 3 times a week, and why are you doing that instead of perhaps putting out more YouTube videos or spending time doing short form content? Because I'm sure you probably think about this. I think about this sort of shit all the time, like time optimization for stuff that's going to get me to my goal the quickest, basically.
So the streaming thing is a couple of things. I can say almost for certain that if I took the time which I spent streaming right now, which is not that much, I commit at the moment to twice a week, for about 4 hours each time, which is still 8 hours a week. I mean,
that's really good. That's 2 to 3.
That's as much as I feel like I need, as I sort of need to do, because I've already got an audience that's sort of built up, and I'm not expecting. Yes, I've got about 50,000, no, just under 50,000 subscribers, but I don't expect, I boot on my stream, and I stream on YouTube mainly. I'm going to try out some other stuff soon as well, to just sort of diversify. But I'm not expecting that 50,000 people are going to tune into my stream because I've got 50,000 subscribers, or because my video got 100 and something thousand views. 100,000 people are going to tune into my stream. No, that's not really how it works. But it's a chance to build up a community, which is just a fun thing to do. It's like for me, streaming it's a fun thing to do. It's a fun way to play games and interact with people. Another big thing is it's a chance to, and I've already begun doing it, is it's a chance to meet like-minded creators and play with them, and that's a bit of a weird minefield actually to do, because I come at the idea of networking genuinely purely from the point that I want people who are like-minded to me to be able to play games and stream with, because that's fun. But a lot of people will view the idea of, if I come and, like, I might message someone, they might be thinking, oh, is it someone who just wants to sort of piggyback? Are they trying to, like, ride a wave up or something like that? I've not had anyone tell me that, but I know that that's a thing, because I know if someone who was a really, really, really small-time creator just messaged me out of nowhere and was just like, with very little info, just like, oh, can we stream together at some point? I'd be like, well, I just want to get to know you first. So, networking is it's more of a minefield than it should be. But I've already managed to sort of network out and start doing, like, some stream content on Warzone, partying with people, especially on a game like Warzone, because Warzone as a solo experience is not very fun.
I hate playing solo.
so in my free time, I've got, like, some friends of mine that I play with, but when I'm on stream, it'd be nice to stream with other streamers. And so and And there is obviously going to be a natural part of that, which is networking, where people who watch me, they probably already know of these people, and people who watch them, I found, have already know about me as well. So it's not like we're like gaining. It's not like, oh, I'm gaining something from streaming with someone else. No, it's just it's a nice way that you've got these communities that start blending together, and I think that's a cool thing to do. So that's sort of another bit of streaming. And then the last thing is, and I would be lying if I didn't say this, the idea that you can, from streaming, you know, with Twitch, you've got subscribers, from YouTube you've got channel members and stuff. It is another monetary stream to come in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, Twitch's Prime sub system is just it's such a cornerstone of that platform now, because I know that the idea that someone can theoretically, obviously technically it's linked with Prime, but the fact that a viewer can choose to support someone with no monetary, technically it's not technically no monetary, you know what I mean? It's like there's no monetary, they don't have to get their card out and, you know, put in their card details into something and support you, and then actually provide that creator with an extra bit of income every month. That's crazy. Like, that is.
I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people don't really think of it like that, and Amazon eat a lot of cost.
Yeah, I completely. Yeah, that is one of the things. I know there's a lot of competing platforms now, and competition's good when it comes to streaming in terms of platforms. Definitely, I want to branch out. Right now, I'm doing my stream on YouTube. I want to start starting my stream on YouTube, and then probably halfway through it, moving over to Twitch. And so I'm attacking, but there's no reason to not.
Why would you? Why? What are your thoughts behind doing that?
Just to try, first thing to try out both platforms, because there's a lot of things I like about Twitch in terms of I think Twitch is still better for the kind of community aspect of how things are run.
Oh yeah, for sure. The UI is better, and there's just more community aspects. I
completely think that. YouTube's good for me because I have a YouTube following.
Yeah.
I think if I was going to pick just one to stream on, I would probably prefer to stream on Twitch. But I don't think it's smart me just stream on Twitch, because I have a lot of people who know me from YouTube, and it's finding that mechanism to get people to go between platforms, because that's another thing which is quite difficult. Is just getting people to jump between platforms. You know, how do you get people from your TikTok to your Twitch? How do you get people from your YouTube to your Twitch, or your Twitch to your YouTube, or your TikTok to your... It's a hard. It's a really hard. People seem to think it's really easy. They're like, oh, I'm just going to mention that I have a YouTube channel in my TikTok, and then everybody watches it is going to come and subscribe. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of effort on someone's mobile to then go and find your thing, and they probably just won't. So it's figuring out those mechanisms of branching out and diversifying, and having as many streams of ways that you can turn, like I can turn this into a full-time job. It's another thing where I just think it's trying to work smart, and it's not at the detriment of any viewer. If I was doing anything which was at the detriment of a viewer or something, or exploiting a viewer, which I would never consider doing. I've seen some creators who have done some sort of weird things which are just very, very left field, and you know, just obviously just for a kind of monetary chasing.
Money does funny things to people.
But at the end of the day, if I'm streaming on YouTube, and then I say sort of after the stream, cool, I'm going to continue the stream over on Twitch now. If you want to come on over, awesome. If not, like, it's not affecting the viewer. Yes, some people might prefer one platform to the other, but I would hope that I'm providing something where wherever it's live, they want to come watch.
I find yours is an interesting case, which I've been wanting to looking forward to having this conversation, because I'm always thinking about, you know, like Twitch, YouTube, where's best to live stream? Like
that is
Twitch is live streaming first. YouTube is VOD first. It's always going to be like that. It's never going to change. So Twitch is always going to be one up in that sense, because they focus on live streaming, and YouTube is always going to focus on VODs. However, so then people go, which one is the better one to stream on? They both have their differences. As a streaming platform, Twitch is better, but it depends on you as a creator, and where you're at in your cycle of your content creation journey, and you are in my opinion, the stage of which YouTube makes sense to prioritize for you. It 100% does, because you don't have an audience built on Twitch that you're potentially going to lose if you go all in
completely
on YouTube.
Yeah.
But whereas most people are on the other side of the fence, where they're Twitch primary Twitch, and they're maybe trying to grow their YouTube, and they dabble in live streaming on YouTube, and people don't want to come over, and then they are like, oh, am I annoying people that I'm streaming on YouTube and that? And where you're on the other side doing it the other way, which is, I find really interesting, because there aren't many people who are like that. Not that I've spoken to, because I just know most people that stream on Twitch. And I'm interested to see, if you do stream on Twitch, how many people who come to your YouTube live stream are actually a Twitch viewers primarily, but they watch you because you're on YouTube, and actually would they then come over to Twitch because they actually do watch Twitch a lot? Or I just find that really interesting from an audience perspective, like what they want and where they want you to stream to watch you. So
I mean, this all comes back to sort of the things I've been talking about, where it's just like, I mean, I haven't all this stuff I'm talking about of the whole, half and half and try it. I haven't even done it yet. I haven't tried it out. I think my next stream I'm going to try it out, and I've sort of announced it to my community. I did a poll on YouTube asking. It was a community poll, so there's interesting. A lot of people who respond to community polls probably have never even come into my stream anyway. So it's sort of like you've got to. So I did a poll basically saying, if I was to take my stream content and I was to move it over to Twitch, kind of sort of like half and half, would you follow? And I think the response I got was something like 45% said yes, 55% said no, which for a poll that's on YouTube, that's not a bad sign. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's worth trying. I might try it out for a month of doing it, and then I sort of look at it and I say, I should probably just do YouTube. But I might try it, and it might be really good. It might be the case where I find something that's working from doing that part time. I can sit, and I think a lot of people, they think too much and they don't do enough. Just try it. Why not? Yeah. Why not try? Oh, well, where should I stream? Should I multi-stream? Should I half and half? Just try it. Just literally try it. And this, I guess, this comes back to people who they want everything as quick as possible. So they don't want to take that time to just try. Yeah. But no one has the answer for that of which one's better, because as you said, it's completely dependent on your scenario. I just think for me personally, I don't see the reason to not try and see how that works. It might be a complete failure. It might work. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it might be a case that you could actually build and grow a community quicker on Twitch for whatever reason, because of that community aspect that we just talked about. I know that Warzone is huge on Twitch, so even though you have established yourself somewhat on your YouTube live stream, moving over to Twitch and arguably starting from scratch, but you might get funnel some people over. Might be that you prefer it there and your audience prefers it, and even though it might take another 6 months to get to where your YouTube live stream is at, it might actually be that it is on a much higher trajectory anyway. So it's like that's or not, or it might just fail. But like
I'm happy to try it and it completely fall flat on its face, and just be like, okay, well, I've learned that doesn't really work for me. Just carry on with what I'm doing. And the other thing which sort of makes me more interested in trying in comparison to many other streamers and content creators is, as I said, I've only been streaming since the beginning of this year. My first stream was on January 4th. I'd done dabbles of streams here and there, like a couple of Twitch streams ages ago that I didn't really push that hard, and then I'd done a couple of YouTube ones here and there. But really, in terms of trying to do it with a consistent schedule, I've only started doing that this year. So it's not like I've done it for ages and ages and ages and built up the exact way that everything works, and now it's like, oh, do I try and change it? No, I'm still fresh to this side of things, so I'm at the stage where I can try and fail and it doesn't really matter.
How many people are coming through on your live stream, if you don't mind me asking? I'm curious.
So probably around 40 to 50.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Which is
off the bat, like, fuck yeah.
I think the first
streaming to 0 viewers.
The first stream I booted up, beginning of this year, I think it was like 50 viewers, and then the peak I had. Nice. I had a really, really good peak, although it was a bit of.
What were you expecting?
What was I expecting? That is a really good question. I would like to say I didn't have an expectation, but of course I bloody did.
What were you like ballparking in your head, like that you would like think would maybe? Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird. thing.
No, it's a good thing. So I'm trying to cast my mind back. Like I remember it was like
I'd have no idea.
New Year rolled around, and I said, oh, I'm gonna try. I said to my partner, I'm gonna try streaming, because my partner used to do quite a bit of Twitch streaming, just as like a little thing inside. Nice. She might get back into it soon. I was probably thinking. Honestly, I probably thought initially maybe a little bit more, like let's say 70 people.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I'd also, and that's mainly because December was a really good month for me in terms of growth as well. So I had a lot of new people coming in. So I thought, maybe that's going to boost up. Yeah. So, but I mean, the thing which keeps me grounded in terms of, I could look at it and say like, oh, I've got all these subscribers and I'm getting all these views. I'm not getting these, I'm not getting the live stream views. Oh, that sucks, kind of thing. But I look back at some of the streams I was doing, like I tried to do a bit of streaming in lockdown when everyone started getting. It seems like everyone became a streamer.
Yeah, everyone was.
And I was getting like 3 viewers. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I was getting that, and so now if I'm getting 50, like that's great. Mm-hmm. Now it's how do I grow that a bit more? And one of the
how are people finding your live stream then? Because I'm always curious. Like people just assume that YouTube has really good discoverability for live streams, but I know that it
no,
doesn't.
It's not. It's not. I mean, you could. It's the whole discoverability thing with YouTube. This is the thing. A lot of people who are, they're pretty much new to streaming and content creation as a whole, and they want to be streaming primarily. Maybe they haven't even started trying to make content and stuff. And they go, oh, which one's better? Oh, and then you get you watch all these videos of people saying, oh, you should definitely just do YouTube, because YouTube, you can pick a thumbnail and you can give it a title and you can give it tags. You give it all these tags, so when people search, they're going to find your stream and they're going to click on it. It's like, well, that's not going to happen, are they? Like if I in the nicest way possible, if I search up Warzone 2 stuff and I scroll down the YouTube page and I see someone who is only just started streaming, probably hasn't even got to grips with thumbnail creation and understanding how you put together titles and stuff, and they've just got stuff, and then it shows like 1 viewer, I'm not going to click it. So that's not the way you should be thinking about it, because it's not about discoverability in terms of just finding streams. Because even with, I mean, I'm not as much of a Twitch user overall. And I've personally, and when I have used Twitch, I've never I've never opened up a game like Warzone 2 and scrolled down to the bottom to find someone to watch. So you've got, and this is where it all comes back to, you've got to create the content to bring the people over. So, and that's the same for YouTube or Twitch. That doesn't make a difference.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah,
it doesn't make a difference just because YouTube has tags and titles and thumbnails, and technically an algorithm where your stream could appear in front of someone. Yes, maybe your stream might appear in front of someone's face more times than Twitch, but you'll probably get the same amount of people clicking and coming and watching.
Yeah, like it. I'm about to just rant here, but yeah, it's
Go for it. Rant away.
People get pissed off with Twitch that there's not much discoverability features, right? Like it doesn't have a TikTok. People complaining because it doesn't have a fucking TikTok feed. Yeah. Like, and YouTube doesn't really either. They have recently implemented, I saw when someone is live and the short comes up, it comes up with a red circle on there. So they are implementing stuff. But at the end of the day, like you said, just because you can search for a topic and potentially a live stream pops up doesn't mean people are clicking it. People are using YouTube to watch VODs primarily. People don't go there to watch live streams. And even if they do watch live streams, I've had this conversation before, you're always suggested VODs. There's always this
competing.
temptation to go elsewhere, which is why Twitch has such a high
average view duration,
like session time. Average view duration, session time, because people go there to watch live streams, and they sit there and watch 2 or 3 live streams rather than just binge watching VODs. And like this whole discoverability thing on Twitch is kind of meaningless. People usually, like you just said, people usually go to Twitch already in mind who they're going to watch, because they've either seen them on TikTok, they've seen them on YouTube, seen them on Twitter, Discord, wherever, heard about it, friends. They're going there. I'm going to watch this streamer. Not many people go to Twitch and go, do you know what? I don't know who I'm going to watch today. I'm going to go and just browse the game page.
It just doesn't happen.
Some people do, but then you usually end up going to the streamer that you know, or one that you recognize, or your following list. That's what I literally do. You look at who's online that you follow, recently, and you click those.
Go on Twitch and find them.
People want this discoverability feature, but people don't use the platform in that way. It's not TikTok.
Yeah.
Like
whether. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on. I was just going to
say the idea that a suite that Twitch could implement a suite of discoverability features, and I don't know, maybe say you're streaming something, especially, and this is specifically for like let's say Warzone streamers. If your Warzone stream is you, camera on the side, running around the new map, shooting people, it don't matter how many discoverability features that Twitch chucks in, it's not going to change anything. Potentially, maybe you'll see your viewer number spike like this because people are just sort of because it just comes up and then people go, I don't really want to watch this. Like the only way that that discoverability stuff is really going to help anyone is someone who is doing something so, I don't know, wild and entertaining and different that when you come across it, you go, oh, what's this? And what, like, this is. Yeah. But most people aren't doing that. So if you are someone who wants to, because I don't think that you need to, and this is where I'm coming from. I don't see for my streams, I'm not going in it to try and do something so wild and out there. I want to be able to go live and stream me playing the games I like playing and talking to my chat and being active with chat. That's what I want to do. So if I want to get people to come and watch that in the first place, I've got to give them a reason to like me.
For sure.
And that's nothing to do with discoverability. That's to do with having good content that brings people over to you.
Good content. I agree. Like, I always think, like, why do you deserve to be discovered?
Yes.
Please tell me that, because there are thousands of streamers, like I said, all doing the same thing as you. Why should we push you out more than anybody else? What are you doing that is different? Because there isn't anything that you're nice and like you're friendly, but cool, but I can find 10,000 other streamers that are nice and friendly and are good at the game. So like, what are you doing to stand out? Like, so and to do that, you need to just create the content off other platforms. You have to be a good content creator. People, I think there are very nuanced cases where I do think some streamers don't get the credibility that they deserve, where they are actually doing something not unique, or they are they've got that wow factor. Yeah. They've got that star on their head, like they've just got it, right? And in cases like that, I think, how do you make those people more discoverable? If we take out like content creation on other platforms, and you've got like 100 streamers that all are just pure streamers, and one of them is a fucking superstar, how do you make that streamer more discoverable if they all start from zero? I don't know how you solve that problem. That is what you ideally want, is to make the stars more discoverable, not just the average Joes. But the average Joes are the ones that are crying for more discoverability, and it's like, well, that's just not how it works.
Because the people who are those stars, they end up doing well because they're doing the stuff they need to be doing.
Yeah,
like so, and that's why it's like that's why you barely ever see you're very, very few times, unless someone has I don't know, maybe someone's just started, like they started yesterday and they're doing the best stuff you've ever seen, then maybe they're right at the bottom of the Twitch page with one viewer. But if someone's been at it for a long time and they're doing really good content creation in their streaming and stuff, they're not going to be buried, because they're going to have put in the work in content creation. It's just, it all comes as a package. Yeah, maybe there's some very nuanced cases, but it's just, I don't see it as a thing. I think there's it's a really good topic, the whole discoverability thing, because I used to think exactly the same when I was first thing. I was like, Twitch it's awful. There's no discoverability. What's the point? What's the point of me streaming? I've got one viewer. But when you just got to take a step back from it. Don't take things personally and just understand there's nothing wrong with you as a person. There's not really anything specifically wrong with you as a creator. You're just you're not doing anything, which means that A, you should be discoverable, or B, that people are going to come along and spend an hour watching you.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree.
You've got to do a bit. You've got to do a bit more than that. If you just want to sit and play a game and be like, why does no one watch me? I'm sorry, but
ironic. It's a game in itself, like streaming, and it's like, you want to grow, you want to be a streamer, you got to play the game. If you're not willing to play the game the right way, you're going to fucking lose. Because I see people on Reddit, and I see other people complaining, I've been streaming for 3 years and I've only got 2 viewers, and I'm like, okay, all right. I don't want to waste my time here, but okay, fuck it. I'm going to go and look at their socials. Right, I'm going to look on their socials, and I'm just going to, maybe they're doing something special and they haven't been found. And do you know what? 99 point... Do you know what? It's 100%.
You may as well say 100%, because it is. It's 100%.
They're doing fuck all on all other platforms. And I'm like, you're playing the game wrong, so you can't complain that you're losing. Yeah. That's just straight facts. And you're making no effort to be better at... I haven't got an issue with seeing someone that's on 2 viewers that's not that... Their content's pretty shit, but they're still pushing out lots. They're there. I can see they're being consistent, and everyone's on their different stage of their journey. Yeah, you might not be there, but keep at it. You're going to get better. But some people just not posting at all, or posting once every 6 months. And I'm like, how are you going to expect to get to this threshold where it is at in terms of competition and what you need to be good at? How you expect to get there by just doing the bare minimum? You're just not. This is not a game that you can just go in half-heartedly and just on a whim and just hope to just blow up. But I think people seem to have that impression when they start. I'm not sure where that stems from.
There's a lot of entitlement in content creation, and it's because there is a lot of stuff behind, algorithm. People, the amount of blaming on algorithms that I see, and it's just
TikTok's the fucking blame of everything. Really.
It's literally just it's like the algorithms in place. You've just got to. I get so annoyed at this with YouTube. This is where I start ranting about YouTube, and people ranting about YouTube discoverability, and they talk about I've looked at all my analytics, and all my analytics are really good in all these different ways, and I'm still getting no views. And you've literally just got to look at. Don't even. It's not even just YouTube. It's not even just Google. Think of it as a company. What does a company want to do? A company wants to make money. That's what a company's there for. Well, they want to be profitable. Okay, how are they making money through YouTube? Okay, it's through pretty much ad revenue. It's from long watch time. It's from watching people staying on the platform and watching next video after next video after next video. There's nothing in that algorithm that is against you as a creator. You just have to feed it good quality stuff, and you need to build up the audience that want to keep coming back to your stuff. So when people start saying, I've put in all this work and it's not, there's something you need to do better, because the algorithm's not there to screw you over. It's not some bad algorithm that's there to make sure no one sees your content. It's pushing out the content that it knows from the billions of pieces of data that it has. It knows is going to perform well, and people are going to watch it for a long time, and therefore Google gets a lot of money through ad revenue. Like just step back and think, what does the company want that you're making content on their platform? Because if you're working, and that shouldn't always be the focus, because sometimes that can take away from the creative and the flow of content creation. But if you're complaining about growth, just start from the bottom of understanding what it is that is happening behind closed doors, and think, well, what do I need to do then to get my stuff to start pushing into that? And that's where a lot of the talks of average view duration and click-through rate and all that stuff comes from.
Yeah.
Make something which pops up on someone's screen, and they have to click it because either they know you and they've seen content of yours before and they want to see it again, or it could be someone who's never seen your content, but they just see a thumbnail and they see a title and they go, I need to know that. And then once the video starts, it starts answering the questions they want. So they go, yeah, this is actually something I want to continue watching. And then hopefully they watch it the whole way through. Tackle those things one by one. If you're doing that perfectly every single time consistently because that's the other thing, you could upload your first video, and I do have a belief that there is a little bit of something to do with the longer you're established and you've got the sort of the audience there, it does help you out. And if you were to just make a brand new channel and you made, unless it was an incredible video that was just incredible in every single way, yes, I think it would blow up. But I do see some content which has much smaller views than I sort of think it should. But I think that's just because it's not been there to breathe enough yet. And the channel it's coming from and stuff, I do think the channel does have a slight effect. Maybe it doesn't.
Got to build that trust, haven't you?
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. I feel like a smaller subscriber channel, on occasions and rarity, they could post a video and it blows up. But I do feel like in the algorithm there is a little bit of like an authority.
Yeah,
score,
I think there is. I think that's one of the things I find with, like, I think tomorrow, and this is like, so if we go back to Warzone settings, there are actually a lot of channels which I see who upload like a full Warzone settings video like every week.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think if I wanted to, I could upload a Warzone settings video every week, and it would get pushed out to the right people every single time, because I think there's an authority score that comes with like every niche where, and it's not just based on subscribers, it's based on a whole load of analytics, maybe stuff we don't even see on our analytics graphs. And YouTube knows that channel made that video and it's probably going to be good, so we're going to push it out and the impressions are going to go through the roof. Because that always happens when I upload that kind of video. It just does it every single time. And so I could go down the route of just literally doing it every single week, but I don't want to, because that doesn't feel right to me, and I don't think that's actually that productive, and I think it takes away from time I could be doing growing in other aspects. So yeah, authority. Yeah. There's definitely an authority score kind of thing going on in the background. Maybe that's me trying to be a theorist too much, but
maybe I agree. I always had this theory as well on TikTok, and I think it's with shorts as well. Like, because I have this experience with shorts where no matter how well my short performs on the metrics that I can see, I rarely get above 2.5K. It always just tanks at 2.5K, and I genuinely think it's to do with my sub count. I think it's because I haven't gained enough authority on my account for YouTube to go, yeah, this is good content. Like, and we can see that, like, it's reflective in how many subscribers they have. We're going to push this out to tens and hundreds of thousands of people. Because what's the difference between creator A, who's got 100K subs, pushing out a video that, let's say, on topic, that delivers an 8 out of 10 value, compared to a creator B that's got 10,000 subscribers that pushes out a video that gives 9 out of 10 value? Who's likely to get more views? The one that's got 100K, but who produced the better video with more value? The smaller creator. So I think they have to have an algorithm that will that does favor a bigger account with authority, because they just have that extra level of trust. They have to think, if we're going to push this out to 1 million people, we need to really know that actually it's going to fucking be valuable.
Yeah, people are gonna people are gonna click it and then they're gonna watch it the whole way through, and it's because some videos they release and impressions will go. Naturally, if you've got more subscribers, your initial impressions spike will be higher because you've got more subscribers or returning viewers as well. Where I mean, that's another thing. If people are sort of hanging up on subscribers a lot of the time, look at returning viewers rather than subscribers, because subscribers is did someone click a button to sort of bookmark your channel, whereas returning viewers, there are a bunch of channels which I've watched loads and loads and loads, and then I look and I go, oh, I've not even subscribed to them, and it's usually because they haven't asked. That's another big thing I'm changing now, is asking people to subscribe to the channel in the right way, because a lot of time if you don't ask, people won't, and some people are really afraid of doing it. If you want to gain subscribers, which honestly one of the biggest things about having more subscribers is more brands will contact you. That's flat out a very important thing, is that it's all about authority. I think authority has to be such a big thing, because when something brand new comes out, before really anyone's clicked on it and watched it and given YouTube the average view duration and the click-through rates to know that it's a good video, there has to be something before all that goes. YouTube, like the YouTube algorithm bot goes, that's going to be something which lots of people are going to watch. So I'm just going to put it out there, because and then a lot of people are going to watch it, and the ad revenue is going to come in, and that's money in Google's pocket.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting to say about the subscribe thing. Yeah, I don't do it, but I know that because I also am like, I don't like doing it, but then I need to start doing it, and I always just think, do the people at the top do it? And when you look at them, yes, they do. They all do it as well.
Everyone does it in different ways. So it's just finding a little way that might work for you.
I think people used to just do it in a very cringe way, like old YouTube. It used to be very cringy, like, whereas now I think people are a bit more like clever with it. They're just a bit more casual with it. Like, just by enjoying your video, just hit the subscribe, not just like in your face, like fucking like doing shouty intros with like subscribe stuff, which clickbaity stuff as well that YouTube was like before. I think people are a bit more authentic now. They realise they have
definitely.
Before we wrap up, then, just wanted to I usually end with a question like this, in terms of just trying to understand, like if you have any goals for the year, where, like, is there? You said you've implemented live streaming as something that's pretty new for you. You're considering short form. Just wondering, like, over the next 6 months, is there anything that you really want to start doing more of, or there's an area that you would like to improve, or like what's top of your list in terms of taking you towards, like, I don't know, a new level, or are you just kind of keeping everything keep doing what you're doing,
right?
Open for growth.
Right now, honestly, I've got a lot going on in personal life, and I've got a lot of plans in the year in my personal life, completely outside of content creation. What I'm doing at the moment seems to be working consistently. Nice. So right at this moment, while I'm sat here talking with you, there's not anything where I'm sat here and going, I'm going to jump into this brand new thing, and I'm going to optimize this thing. I'm quite happy with just sort of what I'm doing and how it's working. Nice. So I'm going to keep knocking away at that, because it also seems to be that my growth is still sort of trending upwards just from doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think you always need, like, yes, it's a good thing to always improve, but you don't always, it's not like your improvement needs to do the kind of the curve up for your growth to curve up. You can sort of just start doing the same thing over and again and rinse and repeat and find that rhythm to it. Really, with the live streaming thing, it's something where I just want to kind of keep up with it and sort of see where it goes for the next probably couple of months. I think my ideal actually would be to, like, I'm not afraid to like play different games and stuff when I stream, and try and use the live streaming as a way of community building from people who come across from my informational side of things, and people who want to kind of stay for a bit of personality, questions, answers, chatting, and that side of live streaming. I'm never gonna be that live streamer who is, getting nukes on Warzone 2. That's not me. And I don't really find that interesting to be the primary thing. But no, I want to be able to boot on my stream, have, see familiar faces who are like solid people who watch my content and I can communicate with, and just continue to sort of see where that goes. I've not really got a goal with it. maybe I should, but it's so fresh right now, and it's fun. Yeah. So as long as it stays fun and it just sort of goes somewhere, then I'm content, to be honest.
Nice, mate. If you're content, then that's I was thinking, just if it's working, don't kill yourself.
No,
kind of
like
doing more stuff that's just gonna like ruin the lifestyle that you've got,
flow,
doing
the lifestyle, the time management, working, all
like,
that.
Yeah, the balance of life. Like if you've got something that's giving you steady growth, then fuck it, just keep doing it. Just keep doing that with the steady growth. Yeah, like I say, like you said earlier, I'm sure you're a patient guy. You're not chasing.
No, I'm not trying. I'm not trying to do it as. I'm trying to do it at a good pace. You know, I don't
sustainably.
But it's sustainable growth.
Growth, yeah, which people are not very good at. They just go all in and burn out and fail.
And never want to do it again.
Yeah. Sustainability is key, but sustainability means it usually takes longer.
That's
fine. Why people don't like doing it. But I always try and preach people to have that sort of mindset. Like it's a marathon, not a sprint, as cliche as it sounds.
Oh yeah,
it completely is. I really enjoyed that conversation. I really appreciate you coming on. And
that's been really good. I really enjoyed
chat with me. It's been good to just talk about different things, different perspective, YouTube, and long form. And I wish you all the best with your content.
You too.
I look forward to the day that you reach 100K because I'm sure
that's actually the goal.
That
this
has
year.
to be a goal.
That is the goal this year. I've even opened up the calculator, and that's the one little thing where I've opened up the calculator and I've looked at how many would I need to average per day to reach 100K by the end of the year, and I know that. What
are you growing per day at the moment?
Do you want to know the actual value?
Yeah, go on.
So I think I calculated that I'd need to average around 180 subscribers a day to get 100K. Like that would be bang on December. I can't remember what the New Year. Currently, this is tense now. I'm on the spot. Subscribers. So the past couple of days, because I haven't posted as much in the past couple of days, it's been down at like 160 subscribers a day. But then I've had peaks. I had a couple of peaks of like I had 400 one day, 400 the next day, 300 the next day. Nice. So I've sort of made up for some of those days. So it's like.
When did that start, like, hitting that sort of level, like, where you're averaging over 100 a day? Is that, like, quite recent?
Probably, or kind of last year when Warzone 2 came out, and I sort of was trying to hit the ground running with that.
Was that, like, October, November?
Yeah, like that. And, like, some days there was just crazy spike. Well, maybe I uploaded a video and it just went like that. Yeah, and then I sort of looked at it and I was like, oh, 100K is actually achievable. And 100K means nothing, like, it's nothing more than it's just a cool. I get the banner, not the banner, the plaque.
Yeah,
I want a plaque.
Silver plaque.
I've actually got a fake plaque that I'll get it very quickly.
Yeah, go on.
Got literally after me, my partner and I, like when we first started going out, 4 years ago, she got me this, and it's a fake YouTube plaque that a friend of hers made. And it's a 100,000 subscriber. So what I want is on the wall up there. I want
one day you
want this.
That,
I don't want to replace it. I'll keep this, and then I'll have a real one.
Yeah, keep that. Yeah.
That'd be cool. And it's for no other reason than it would be cool. At the end of the day, 90,000 is just as good as 100, but 100's just nice.
I think 100 is nice. Yeah, I agree that, like, for me that is like the goal. Like, I don't want 1. I don't want 10. 100 million is probably too far.
Yeah, million's just so crazy.
100, I feel like 100 is pretty achievable if you just stick at it.
I think if you're doing good, if you're just doing good stuff, and you're just pushing in different areas. 100's it's achievable.
You're not in too small a niche, and get to 1 million. I feel like you do have to really like.
You have to ascend to something.
We'll just ignore shorts, like fake subs shorts, not fake subs, but like.
I won't comment.
I respect. Yeah, like look at a channel. I'm sure you see. Look at a channel with 100K subs from primarily shorts, and watch them upload a long form video and see how many views.
I know. Oh.
Like 300 views. Like it's and they're lucky that they've been monetizing shorts just recently, which you haven't even spoken about. But like, I feel like long is still the best way to go in terms of monetization.
Completely. I mean, the whole shorts monetization came out, and I was kind of interested. I wasn't really doing it. I was like, maybe this might make this might be the kick up the arse. I need to sort of actually put more time into it. But then I have seen the sort of outcome of it. And it's still not. I don't know how it can be monetized, but I don't know how it can be monetized to a level where people are going to be happy with it, because you can't paste a pre-roll and a bunch of ads into a video, into a short. You can't do it. So where does that level of income that people would be happy with come from? I don't know how it all works. That's sort of beyond my remit.
Yeah, the numbers aren't great at the start for people that aren't doing silly numbers. Yes. That's the issue. I think it's far more achievable to earn, let's say, 50K from YouTube, from ads and like YouTube brand videos than doing shorts. I would say, personally, maybe not for every category and every niche, but I would say generally on average.
Unless you're one of these like just crazy, uploading. I've seen these channels upload like 5 shorts a day, and it's just like, I don't know, there's some sort of robot in the background doing it.
I've seen there are accounts where they spam upload. I've watched a few videos on it where they just upload. They break their own. They upload the same video just with different titles, just like 20 times a day, and it gets hundreds of thousands of views all the time.
Crazy.
And then they grow these YouTube accounts to like. But I think they ultimately get banned at some point because YouTube is not. They're not dumb. They can see that they're doing it. But like, it's interesting. I've seen these people doing this thing, where they just spam upload the same video, and the algorithm doesn't know what to do to it, but it keeps pushing it out like a lot.
There's some weird stuff.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining the podcast. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, other than that, FourEyes, I hope you have enjoy the rest of your Friday evening.
Definitely will.
And I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Thank you very much.